So that means for this tree we need to check if they are empty or not. Okay, so string pre-action equals to this date pre-action. Okay, and action equals to this date action, and string post action equals to this date post action. Oh, okay, so there is another way of going about doing this, and that is here, okay, where we are retrieving the data from the data table. Okay, so here we check if it's empty or not. Okay, so okay, so how should we do this? So it's saying that the argument cannot be null. Oh, okay, so $66. Okay, so the error is actually about, it's not about this tree, but it's about the next. So when we are trying to convert it to an integer, okay, we have to make sure that there is something in a string for us to convert. So next string equals to next. Okay. So here we'll try to convert it here. So okay, but before we do that, next ID equals to 0, and we'll check to say that if next string not equals to empty, then we will convert it. Okay, next string. So over here we'll remove this and change it to next ID. Okay, so that should fix the error, okay, that we are having. Excuse me. Okay, so let's test this out. Okay, it's spinning and spinning. Okay. Okay, so let's test this. Okay, fingers crossed that it should work. What? Okay, line 74. Argument cannot be now. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, line 74. So it's this line. Not equals to, or should we use not equal? Okay, or is there a way to check for the length of the string? Yeah. Okay, so if it's greater than 0, okay, so as long as it's greater than 0, that means there is a number there. Okay, so let's test this again. Okay, this should work. If not, we'll just have to debug it again. Okay, so we have another error now. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Oh, great. Okay, so at least this means that we have fixed that error. Greater than 0. Next ID. Interesting. Okay, next string. So the error is saying that there is no line 74. One of them is empty. Okay, so that means that maybe we can do this. Okay, let's try. Okay, hopefully this works. Okay, so let's see if we... Okay, so it finally works. As you can see, we have all of the dialogue here in English. Okay, so all of this is retrieved from the database. Okay, 66 dialogues. Okay, so it's working finally. Okay, and so now we need to... Okay, so we can remove this portion here. so since now we have an array that is filled out with dialog objects, okay, then we can now use the dialog manager to sort of show the dialog one dialog at a time. Okay, but we need to process each and every alphabet or character of each dialog. So for example, the first line says this is David, so we need the dialog manager to process THIS space IS space DABID. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, let's create a new region and let's call it dialog display stack. Okay, and region. Okay, so I'm not sure if this applies to Visual Studio. Or rather, I'm not sure if this applies to when you're using Unity on Windows with Visual Studio. But if you're using mono-develop with Unity on Mac, then using region and end region allows you to go to the top right portion here and jump directly to each region. So it's rather helpful and convenient if your code gets too long. So display stack. Okay, that means we need to sort of keep track of where we, or rather which dialog we are at. So we need a dialog index. Okay. Okay, so over here, dialog required region, oops, and region. Okay, region font required. And region. Okay, region. Okay, this is just a shortcut to create a separator. Okay, over here. And so now for dialog required, we need an integer, and let's call it dialog index. Or we should call it current dialog index, which is much more meaningful. Okay, let's start it with 0. Okay, so public void display dialog. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I didn't know that I was disconnected from the Twitch TV chat. So if I didn't see your text or chat on the Twitch TV channel, okay, I'm sorry for that. So hopefully the stream is still going steady, and I should be in the Twitch TV chat now. Okay. Okay, so let's display the dialog now. So we need to Okay, current dialog index, increment it. Okay, so this is at the end, so we'll do everything before it. Okay, just to make sure that we are online on Twitch TV. Okay, I'm just going to check if we are online. Okay, if we are not, I'll need to restart the stream, because sometimes that happens. Okay, so we are live, which is good. Okay, let's close that. Okay, and let's go back to mono develop. Okay, so now we need to, okay, before linking each alphabet or character to its respective sprite image or font image, okay, we need to process what the alphabets are. Okay, character by character. So dialog, current dialog, equals to dialogs. Okay, current dialog index. So this is how we get the current dialog we are going to display. Okay, so next is, let's see. Okay, next we need to look through the entire dialog sentence. So for that we need to get the get how long the dialog is. So dot length, dot dialog English dot length. Okay, for now we'll just check for the English version. Yeah, okay, for now we'll just check for the English version. Okay, maybe we should add the option to have. Okay, this might be something later that we have to do, but we could do it now since it will affect how the dialog is displayed. Okay, hopefully I'm still online here. Okay. So depending on what language you have chosen for the game, then we'll decide if we get the English dialog, or the Japanese dialog, or the Chinese dialog. Yeah, so that means we need to open up our options manager. Okay. So let's see. Okay, let's create a new region here and let's call it options required, or rather options attributes. Okay, and region. Okay, and we use the region separator here. Okay, let's create a new enumeration type for the languages. So language type, excuse me. Okay, English, Japanese, Chinese simplified, Chinese traditional, Russian, and Spanish. Okay, Russian and Spanish are not translated yet because I can't do the translation, and we have not found any translator for that yet. Okay, anyway, so that means here we'll add a new option attribute, and let's call it public language type, and by default we'll use English. Okay, language type dot English. Okay, this is by default. Okay, and next I think we have to go back to the data manager, and over here, okay, under load file, game data, not demo. Oh, okay, so we have to go to the startup manager. Okay, so let's do that. Start up manager. Okay, so this is where we initialize a lot of stuff when the game starts in the beginning. Okay, so somewhere around here, if I recall correctly, okay, is where we get the settings. Yep, here. So we have already saved the settings for music and background. Okay. So since we are saving the language type, it will be saved as a number that represents the language. For example, 0 for English and 1 for Japanese. That means we need to save a number within the save file. So let's see how we can do that. Data manager. So if I recall, it should be, oops, wait a minute. Okay, stars collected. Oh, okay, it's not here. It's in the player script. Okay, so it's over here. Okay, where we just pass in the number to the flags data object and we set the flag. Okay, so same thing here in the startup manager. Okay, music, background, and language. Okay, of course we don't have the user interface for the language portion, but we can first, let's see, you can first save it here, because how should we put this, it's the same way of saving the music and background. Okay, but we just need to save it as a number that represents the language. So object language goes to game manager dot data manager dot flags data object dot get flag value language type. So it's the same as when we are trying to get the number of stars you have collected. So this is music, this is oops, visual background, okay, just to make sure that we are still online on the Twitch TV chat. Okay, and OBS. Okay, we should still be online on Twitch TV. Okay, so now let's do the same thing for language type. So if object language not equals to now, okay, that means we have found language type that you have, or rather that the game has already saved. And okay, so if found save data for language type, okay, then okay, we know that it's an integer. So